economists have forecast the RBA will be cutting the cash rate this time around. Our business editor, Ross Greenwood, joins us now. Ross, what do you reckon? How's it looking?
Look, it seems as though money markets right now have got almost 100% chance that rates will be cut today. This comes off the back of what has been an increase in the unemployment rate in the past month. Plus also you've seen really an abating of inflation during that period of time. And now that they've got all of that information, it seems as though the road is pretty much clear for the Reserve Bank to cut interest rates, which it's likely to do. Now, there is just a very, very slight chance that they might even go a little bit further and go by 0.5%. That's not what money markets are saying. That's not what economists are saying. But of course, if they're trying to play a little bit of catch up to try and stimulate Australia's economy, that very much is an option for the Reserve Bank. They will be considering all this as they make this decision, and we're about to see it drop in this next little moment. So it is expected to be down. There it is, as expected, down by 0.25% to 3.6%. So just flagging here for homeowners, for businesses, for the Australian economy, the interest rates have been cut by the Reserve Bank by 0.25%, and that is the third interest rate cut that the Reserve Bank has handed out in around 6 months since it started this cutting cycle. So this is broadly where the cash target rate has gone to. It peaked at 4.35%, was there for quite some time, and now since the beginning of this year has steadily started to decrease as also inflation has fallen during that period of time. Very shortly, Ash, we'll get the actual commentary from the Reserve Bank as to what the decision was all about. I'm just bringing that up now. The statement by the Monetary Policy Board is just here, and effectively at the bottom line, it's saying that there are still uncertainties in the market, but that inflation has continued to moderate. And that really seems to be the key message from the Reserve Bank. But the outlook, it does remain uncertain. And so really, from that point of view, there is still some suggestion. One important note, and that was that in the previous decision where interest rates were kept on hold, there were two members of the Monetary Policy Board who said that they felt rates should have been cut last month. This time, I can tell you, the decision has been unanimous from the Monetary Policy Board at the Reserve Bank. Now, effectively what they're saying, they're going to pay close attention to developments in the global economy and financial markets. The board is focused on its mandate to deliver price stability and full employment and will do whatever needs to come. But it seems almost as though it was inevitable that the rates would be cut today. What I can show you here also, and this will be important to watch, is just what money markets have done off the back of this, because as I say, this decision was broadly expected. So if we go through the various bits and pieces, I think we could probably start with the one-year government bond. And you can see here, look at this, after this decision's come out, you can see that that has fallen from about 3.44% to back down to 3.4%. So that's giving you some indication as to money markets responding well to this. You can see a blip up in the ASX 200. It had been pretty flat before this, so some of those interest rate sensitive stocks and banks, property companies would have all risen off the back of this. And the final one I can show you is the Australian dollar. Australian dollar lower. You can see it was above 64.1 US cents, now back around that 65 US cent mark, and generally a falling dollar is commensurate with also those declining interest rates. So that's where it sits right now. So just to repeat, that interest rates have been cut by the Reserve Bank today by 0.25%, with the cash rate now sitting at 3.6%.
Yeah, and fascinating that sort of unanimous decision this time around, Ross. You can hear those sighs of relief right around the nation on this news coming through today. Ross, thank you for your analysis.